Okay, I think we're live.
All right.
Woo!
Maybe we're all set. All right, let's see.
All right, we are. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah?
we're backwards.
Okay.
That means we're right. That's good.
All right, so it's
you can read.
Walt and Sheila, and it is healthy recipes served up on Livliga.
Yes.
Again, it must be. Oh, is it a fourth Tuesday of the month?
It's a fourth Tuesday of the month.
All right, so we're having fun.
Perfect.
In the kitchen, and we wanted to share with you some of the summer freshness that we've been enjoying. So I hope you all can also share your stories of being off at a farmer's market or finding those fresh local vegetables in your grocery store. And I think Cynthia, there's who's signing up that we need to say hi to.
Let's see. We've got Adam here and
All right,
Laura.
Adam.
All right.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Adam. So nice that you've joined us. It's a pretty hot, summery day here for us, but we'll take it because before you know it, the seasons will be changing. We've already been seeing little signs here in Colorado of some of the trees changing, so it's humbling. So we want to make the most of summer.
Yes, we do.
Right,
Yep.
and the most moments of all this freshness. What are some of the fun things that we've seen recently? We're still enjoying fresh Palisade peaches.
Yes.
Still having kind of cantaloupe and.
Right, and actually a friend who was at the market on Saturday sent me a picture of peppers.
Oh my God!
that
It's
were
peppers galore.
Oh, red and yellow and gold and green, and it was beautiful.
So while Walter was building our brand new chandelier, some of you might have seen that on Facebook.
But it worked.
He did a time lapse, so you don't have to watch the 3 hours it took for him to build it. But he encouraged me to go see those peppers in person.
Yeah, and you did.
So Cynthia and I headed off to the market, and it turns out it was tomato day at the market because it is tomatoes galore. So truly, you can at this time of year you can eat tomatoes kind of like you do apples, can't you? I mean, they're so fresh, they're so juicy. Has anyone ever actually done that where you just pick it up and eat it like an apple?
I love it.
Yeah.
They're fresh off the vine when they're even kind of warm, or just you take the first bite, you're gonna have to suck a little bit because it's just so juicy.
So juicy.
I know.
It is truly
so
that way.
So are these the tomatoes that you got at the
take
market?
a peek. Yeah, these are some of the tomatoes we got at the market, and they're beautiful.
They really
are. A lot of times when you get things from the market, they're not, and that's okay, that they're not perfectly formed or they're unusually formed, right, guys? Where we see things, and that's kind of their charm. But for some reason, because it was tomato day, I think, it was the cream of the crop, the prime of the season. So all of these got so beautiful. It made me think of one of the salads that we're going to do today. Who else are we saying hello to?
We've got Cynthia, we've got Ina.
Hi.
Yes.
This is awesome. So we're kind of going to go around the world with salads.
Oh, what a great idea.
Because why not, right?
We should.
And so we're going to have a caprese salad.
Caprese.
Hey,
hello.
Walter speaks Italian.
Oh, yeah.
He actually lived in Italy. Well, didn't you live in Italy?
No, it's nearby. I spent a lot of time in Italy.
Yes, he had cousins that lived in...
Casale Monferrato.
There you go. See, doesn't that just sound sexy just to begin with? I'm just saying. So, caprese is an Italian salad. Super easy, really yummy in the summertime because everything is fresh. And it's kind of made up of simple ingredients, which is the tomatoes.
Yes.
And of course, we got ours at the farmer's market. And then basil, which we got from our garden.
Herb garden outside.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do. And then mozzarella. Yeah, and we're going to do that salad, and then we're going to go do the run-through, and then we'll start over again and actually put the salads together and talk about them as we go.
Perfect.
The one that's probably the most complicated, at least in my world, the way I put together a salad niçoise, is a salad niçoise. And there's so many different ways. I mean, I'm sure there's a very traditional way that our cousin Julie would probably make sure that we knew about, and she can join in and tell us. But these are certainly the elements of a classic salad niçoise, and so we're going to have fun putting that one together. And again, that's French.
Niçoise. Exactly.
So we got a little Italian going on here, we got a little French going on, French, and then we're going to do kind of a Sheila salad. It's one that I've been known for. It's one that I love doing when we have family gatherings for a fresh salad. In some ways, I think I introduced that, although Walt comes from a family that has always loved salads.
Yes.
And so
you do a great salad. I love it.
I'm kind of known for them, which I'm very proud of, you know, because it's such a healthy thing. It's probably the first thing healthy that I've been known for.
Well, your salad dressing. I mean, people have asked.
Salad dressing is key. And so this one is basically, it's sort of it's really
simple, classic French vinaigrette.
Yeah. Well, the salad itself, though, is kind of, what did I call it? I can't even remember anymore, but it's a mandarin orange salad that has artichoke and goat cheese in it. So I don't have any sexy name for it. That's just, and it also has nuts in it, so you can really make it a meal, a light, summery meal. And so there are a couple things we want to talk about. One is that salads do not have to be complicated.
No, and in fact, frequently, what are they? They're just sort of what you have around, you can actually use to make something really good and really fresh.
Exactly.
So it's really kind of a great way
to
read.
And again, Walter gives me a hard time about certain things because, for instance, when I'm talking about our dinnerware and I say, it's very eco-friendly dinnerware, I said, and the reason why is, what is porcelain made of but clay? And what's clay but dirt? And Walter goes, don't tell people that the dishes they're eating are made of dirt. And so, but to me, it's pertinent to the whole issue. It's very organic.
Tara would say clay comes from the mountains. It's just ground down granite. So granite,
earth, dirt, So when I talk about a lot of my salads, I actually talk about them as kitchen sink salads because it's everything, including the kitchen sink concept, where it's literally whatever's in your refrigerator. It's actually a very creative process. Mm-hmm. I think putting together salads can be a very creative process.
As a shout out to Canon, who hates the misuse of the word curate. We were actually talking about, Sheila is so creative with her salads that she actually curates all the ingredients so that our salads are well put together.
So we want to give you the gift of curation as well today in these salads. And so we have these 3 different salads. And I think another thing, when people ask me, so why are your salads so yummy? Why are they so tasty? There are kind of 4 things that I think I would like to point out. And so one of them...
What are they?
Well, thank you for asking.
I don't know.
Good plug there, honey. Good stepping up to it.
That's it.
So the first thing is the salad dressing that we kind of talked about.
Is key, right.
So I'm a firm believer that number one, salad dressings are really easy to put together, and you can also have a variety on hand. And so to me, making a homemade salad dressing makes all the difference in the world.
Because it doesn't have any of the other things in bottle dressings that are all the preservatives, all the additives. You don't know how much salt, you don't know how much sugar. You can do something that's really pure, that's really good, that's really fresh and fresh tasting.
Exactly.
And the other thing you've done over the years is like your vinaigrette, which has always been fabulous. Maybe 5 or 8 years ago, you totally switched up.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. No, but I'm glad you brought that up because it's okay to also transform things and change them up. And we're going to actually talk about the fact that I have basically the same formula, but I do it differently depending on whether it's a lighter salad and we want kind of a lighter, fresher taste to the ingredients in the salad dressing, the taste. Because the salad dressing actually... it is an enhancement of the salad, right? It's not a throwaway. It's not just the liquid you put on top, which I think sometimes people have that sort of concept. They got the salad and then they put the salad dressing on to finish it up, but it actually complements the salad. So you really want to think about the type of salad dressing you want to use for each of the salads you make. The other thing, obviously, that we've talked about, I just want to make sure we're saying hi. Oh my gosh, Kirk, how the heck are you? What a delight. Thank you for joining us. What a fun thing from far and distant lands. So when we talk about the salads again, they have to have really good homemade salad dressings. They need fresh ingredients, right? And then the other thing is that they have to be visually appealing. And that's kind of where we're going to show you that with all of the salads. But, a caprese lends itself well to that. So does the niçoise. Yes. It can be fun to kind of create this beautiness. And often what we do is, we'll be doing this for 4 people, but today, since we're all we're showing multiples. We're going to kind of do them as individual salads.
Single servings.
Yeah, and then this is, as you remember, this is what we get to eat for dinner. So we're going to fight over who gets the presse, who gets the niçoise, who gets mom's, salad. So, or maybe we'll just have to share.
We will.
We can share.
We're good at
we
that.
can share.
We can do that.
And then finally, the other thing is it has to be tasty. That's the whole point of all this. When we're trying to eat healthy and in right-sized amounts, and we're trying to maybe learn to eat things that haven't been kind of part of our stable before, like salads. A lot of people I talk to when we go traveling, salads aren't the first thing they talk about. They come from a background with different types of foods.
Right.
But salads are so wonderful because, again, you can make them with the things that are on hand. You can have things on your pantry. That's kind of what this the salad that's sort of Sheila's salad that's with the mandarin oranges and artichokes and the nuts and the goat cheese. I mean, the nuts, the mandarin oranges, and the artichoke hearts are all things you can have in your pantry ready to go.
Right.
So they're something that's easy when you're hot and tired after a hard day of work and you plumb don't want to spend a whole lot of time on dinner. You don't have to heat anything up except if you want to toast the nuts.
Almonds, right.
And you can have the dressing already ready, so it can literally take 10 minutes max to put your dinner together.
Absolutely.
And then the kitchen sink concept where you have all these leftovers. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like with the niçoise, I can often have things like leftover green beans from a dinner, leftover new potatoes. The tuna is, again, something we can have from a leftover grilled, right?
Exactly.
So today we're using canned tuna, basically because I plumb didn't have the time to, and we don't have a real grill yet. We have our George Foreman, which we love, which is very handy, but we didn't get it out today to do that. So we're going to use canned tuna because, again, I wanted to emphasize that salads can be easy.
Right.
They can, also be something you put together from the ingredients you already have.
And like the hard-boiled eggs.
And the hard-boiled eggs.
Because you'll frequently keep hard-boiled eggs as a snack item because they're high in protein, so it's a great snack.
Right.
But then they also are a great addition to a niçoise.
Right. So have we convinced you yet that salads are really a yummy thing to create and to make as a meal? And one of the things about salads, like, why salads? I think there are a couple of things to point out as we kind of head into actually making them. And that is, obviously, they're healthy. You can't get any better than all the ingredients, from the vitamins and the minerals and, their sources of protein. And
the salad items themselves are really fresh and really good for you.
Yeah.
Typically, it's the salad dressing, which might be the bad thing, but if you make it yourself, then you really get around that issue.
You do, totally. And measuring. I mean, I think one of the things we get in trouble with sometimes with salads is we go, like, oh my God, let's have cheese, or oh my God, let's have 6 ounces of meat, or whatever. And you don't have to have that much, particularly with a salad, to make it full and and delicious and satisfying.
Right, exactly.
So I think healthy. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that there's this concept of that Barbara Rawls, who's a professor at UPenn, coined, and it's called volumetrics. And one of the things that salads really help us with when we're trying to be mindful of what we eat is that she has shown with her research that we actually all eat the same volume of food every day. So obviously I eat a different volume than you might eat and then Walter eats, but we all have our sort of standard norm for the volume of food we eat. And we can either do that in calorie-dense foods or nutrient-dense foods. And the nutrient-dense foods tend to be much healthier for us, obviously, but they also tend to be volume kinds of foods like salad, like lettuce, like celery, like
fresh vegetables.
Vegetables.
And fresh fruits.
And it's not about whether they're cooked or not, but it is about the fact that they tend to all have a lot of water in them.
Yes.
And so they create volume for you and allow you to feel full, and so they can take up that room of that overall volume you consume without adding those calorie-dense amounts of food that you would have otherwise. And the other thing is, when we talk about salads, is we fortunately we have children who are very health conscious, and they have encouraged us in many ways, which is kind of why we're here today. I think in a lot of ways is through their support and encouragement. And one of the things that Andrew Dietrich, our middle one, really emphasized the year that he lived with us, was having kind of meatless or vegetarian meals built into our week. And the thing that's wonderful about salads is that they can truly fit that slot in a very easy way, so you can have that variety in your diet and be healthy. So, are we ready to get going?
And his issue was not only is it healthy for us, but it's also healthy for the planet.
Right, because of the smaller carbon footprint required. And that's why this time of year we can all eat and gorge on wonderful fresh foods, because really the best ones are the ones that are locally grown. And that's what's so fun about this. So,
Andrew Walt. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for coming. I tagged you, didn't I, today? You're so nice. Well, you tend to be somebody who comes and visits us, and I really appreciate that. So, okay, so one of the things we wanted to maybe spice up the caprese with today is, this is a gorgeous nectarine that Walter found.
Nectarine.
A white nectarine.
So it smells really good.
And I mean, oh my
really
God.
Good.
I really wish sometimes that we could, just kind of offer you this wonderful aroma that we're getting with all these.
And speaking of fresh fruits, can we mention anything else? Like, we went to the tree farm over the weekend, and we have all sorts of...
he's getting off on his passions, right? So we talked the chandelier, and now we're talking...
Trees! But we're going to have 4 different kinds of fruit trees. So next year this time, or 10 years from now this time.
Sometime soon we're going to have lots of fun with our own fruit, right?
Okay,
so are you going to cut this up? So one of the things, this is, there's so many different kinds of mozzarella, and it does matter. So that's one of those things that, and I don't know if you guys have discovered burrata yet, which is kind of a form of mozzarella. It's not really mozzarella, but it has mozzarella in it. But it's an Italian cheese. Oh my God, so good. But the quality of the mozzarella, the fresher it is, obviously the better it's going to be. And that's good. You were making a lot of noise. Why are you doing that?
Well, because we wanted to slice them.
Okay, all right. So he's showing you just like how we start a meal, which is getting these things ready.
Those knives.
Because it does make a difference, particularly with cheese that we're trying to slice like mozzarella, and obviously tomatoes. I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but I think tomatoes are the hardest thing in the world to cut unless you have a sharp knife. Right. So that's really key. So are you going to do this?
Yes.
You're going to go over here, or are you going over here?
I'm right here. That's fine.
Okay. So what you do with a caprese is you alternate the cheese with the tomato, and also you put in some wonderful fresh basil as a leaf. I don't chop it up. I may tear it, just depending on the size of the leaf.
And how much you have.
And how much you have. The other thing I think is really important to point out is I'm not a big lover of big, huge slices of things. I think you miss some of the flavors and the combination of flavors, because if your mouth is so full, you just can't
That was
taste
almost
it all.
a Julia Child moment going on. But you really taught me to like with celery.
Yes.
Sliced
God, it's so good, isn't it?
Tastes different.
And you can put it in anything.
No, it really makes a
good.
huge difference.
Yeah. So we're getting some action over here. Could you tell me what kind of action we're having?
Well, Kirk says Missouri peaches are amazing.
Oh my God, yes.
I've been putting them with a caprese salad.
Oh,
See?
Okay, well,
that's where it's
totally good. Isn't it fun to experiment like that? And fresh to fresh, you can't go wrong. I mean, I think, tomatoes with peach is like, or have you guys, have you done something like, the other day we did watermelon and beets.
Oh, so good.
Oh,
sweet watermelon.
Good. Walter is a master at roasting beets, and he doesn't mind the mess.
Well,
so
I wear gloves.
I'm grateful. I am so grateful. But this is where it gets fun, when you mix and match and do these combinations. I think tomato and watermelon is really wonderful too.
Are you going to be happy with that?
I am. I'm happy. I mean, I would, if you
thinner
can't
would be better,
really do thinner. Okay, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. But this is, we talk about it in the kitchen.
I can do it this way.
We can also, make smaller. You can also have it.
I may.
But this is a dinner, and so this is different than like sometimes people do it with a side salad with things, and so then you'd want it maybe to be even thinner if you could. For dinner, I think again we're going to have lots of good flavors here.
I'm going to cut those in half.
You are? Okay. So can I start here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope you guys can see here where. Oh, you know what? I want to actually alternate the color too. That's the fun thing about this time of year. I mean, you can totally do it all with red, or you can totally do it all with
yellow
or heirloom.
purple.
Heirloom Paleo tomatoes have become so popular. I just find them sometimes so ridiculously expensive. I'd rather grow them, quite frankly. But to have this, these are called beet orange, this color. So the actual tomato, Cynthia just, it struck her imagination, so we both remembered it, that they were called beet orange tomatoes.
Beet orange? Or
bee, like B-E.
Oh,
beet orange.
Bee orange.
Like bee. They are bee orange tomatoes. So I don't think they taste orange, but they're just a really pretty orangey yellow color. And so I'm having fun really just keep cutting here. So here we go. And so I also want to get, so this was our basil from our yard. It's pretty spindly this time of year, as you can see, or hopefully you can see.
Well, the truth of the matter is,
this is something you're not supposed to let happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is to let it flower, because it starts making it's a little more woody. It's maybe bitter is a word, but it's not as tasty.
Yeah.
So anyway, and if you do tear it, that actually kind of starts getting the flavors going with it. So
right.
I think that's really yummy. So you're gonna help me here? Mm-hmm. Yum, yum, yum. Thank you. So we're just gonna keep going here with alternating. And then what we're gonna do is just drizzle like 2 tablespoons of homemade dressing on there. Am I doing this right still? Sometimes I get confused, and especially when I'm talking, I gab and I'm having so much fun, and but doesn't it just, I don't know if you can see it yet, we'll certainly hold it up so you can see it more, but it is just so pretty. It's so colorful that it just makes your heart glad when you put the salad together. And how easy is this? And it's not even really messy. I mean, it's a little,
but it's also the smell. You have to. Just the smell.
Oh my God, basil.
It is
basil
so
such
summery.
a yummy, yummy, yummy
Love
smell. It just makes you think of, just.
Cindy says bee orange, B-E-E, not B-E, not
was it
being an orange, but
really?
buzzing like.
Are you sure, Sid? It's not how I remember it, but you know what? You've got a better memory than I do. So, but anyway, we were taken with the name, weren't we?
Yes.
So, more cheese here. Oh, let's taste this cheese.
I know.
How does this taste?
We'll
we have to be in the kitchen too, It's good. It's not. We're sort of in love with the really fresh one, but I wanted one we could slice because this is the most usual.
Yeah. Yes.
And the other one, kind of when you slice it, it's so gooey and delicious that.
Right. It's really formed on the outside.
Yeah. So we'll do a salad with that sometime.
Liquidy in the inside,
But,
which makes them incredible.
God, it's so good. Okay, so we're.
You need orange. There you go. Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
But don't I need cheese too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting close here. We've got a couple more that we can do. Oh, we gotta have the basil here. And we gotta have,
center.
I guess we'll do in the center now.
Yep.
So we'll kind of speed this up a little bit, although, yours truly is always challenged for this, to speed things up because she's having too much fun. But we're gonna do it. And
Perfect.
Let's see. And we're going to put some more basil in here, and then we're going to drizzle. I'm going to use all this basil up.
Yeah.
Let's see, can I get that in there? And here.
Bountiful.
Yeah, that's the, salads really are. To me, if you think bounty, I think salad. Okay, so to talk for a second about salad dressings. So I went ahead and did this just because, as you see, I'm such a gabber. I was afraid I'd get so distracted I put something weird in the salad dressing. But I do have, as you remember, blog.livligahome.com is our blog. And I have so many recipes and, that you can resource and salad dressings. Also our website, which is, and Cynth, I think you'll help us with this, but www.livligahome.com. I have my classic vinaigrette on there. And then if you look up, I have to look at the name.
Can I slice the...
Oh, would you do that? Because
and we'll just add it in.
Yeah, I'll add it in. I'm sorry that I got carried away and forgot the nectarine. But I wanted to reference, so I'm going to look at that. Springtime Recipes asparagus vinaigrette is the really light one, and so I wanted to tell you a little bit.
See white nectarine? Isn't that beautiful?
It's just beautiful. And I had one of those actually for lunch today, guys. Well, you brought home a bounty of them, so I did, and it was spectacular. So it's going to be really good in the caprese. So the dressing we're going to use for the caprese is the really light one, which I call my light vinaigrette. And I don't put, I am one of those that loves apple cider vinegar, so one of the vinaigrettes has that in it. This one is really pure lemon juice with a little oil and has water in it. So one of the things that Walt was starting to allude to is I learned a few years ago, which really helps in terms of portioning. You still have all the flavors. It does not make it watery because you just don't put that much water in it. But I tend to match the vinegar or this kind of the acidic thing, the lemon, with the water, and then add the mustard.
So equal amounts of water and whatever the acid is.
So for instance, the light vinaigrette has 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon. So I'm a big Dijon mustard lover. As you can see, we save all of the jars, and this is what I make our dressings in.
It's a perfect jar.
Yeah, it's so handy, and we use them over and over and over again. Talk about repurposing and reusing.
But one of the
recycling.
One of the things that Dijon mustard does when you're making salad dressing is it helps emulsify, right?
Yes, it does. So it makes it so yummy. You're right.
It really makes it creamier than it would be otherwise.
Yeah. So we have 1 table of Dijon mustard in this, 1 teaspoon of olive oil. This is going to be shocking to you guys, I know. But as Walt said, because of the mustard, which is very low in calorie and very flavorful, just that amount of oil really kind of brings all the flavors together, but you don't end up with all the calories. The olive oil may be good for you, but it's loaded with calories. So we want to use it, and fats are good for us, but we don't want to overuse it. So, and then I'm one of those that loves to mix up the herbs that I put in. And I think I've mentioned this before, but have you guys discovered the kind of the fresh, flash-dried lighthouse herbs? They're fantastic, and they really are the best sort of dried herbs I found. And during the summertime, and particularly with the light vinaigrette, I love using the dill. You can also go out in your garden and do dill. Our dill this time of year is ugly. It's just plumb ugly. I couldn't do it to ourselves, so I didn't use our fresh, but we do love using the fresh dill. So that's what I put in the light vinaigrette to go, because I thought it would be a lovely complement to.
And see how that all works with the
so great. So so we're gonna probably do just 2 tablespoons on this, because you want the flavor, but you don't want to.
2 tablespoons. Well, and what are you? Look at that.
It's a lip spoon. It's a living lip spoon.
1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons.
Yeah. So, and 2 tablespoons is the classic serving size for one individual for their salad. So,
but that also looks perfect for that.
Doesn't it kind of look perfect? Because you don't want to overdo it. I personally, I'm one of those people, I don't like things that are overdressed.
It's like
because you're ending up eating the dressing. You're not eating the salad. And again, it's supposed to be a compliment. So, is this gonna, can you stretch further than me, or am I? So look, this is our caprese salad. Isn't it gorgeous? And this, you're gonna.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right, you're very kind to go over there and.
There,
what do we think?
Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Ooh,
that's
good to me.
So,
see, you're right. I did, but I got it on the floor.
I knew it. Oh my god, this beet orange.
I know.
So that's one of the dressings that we did. Next, we're gonna put together.
Okay, so we've gone through Italy.
We have, boy, did we have a good tour. And now we're gonna put the niçoise together. I'm gonna put it over here. And the fun thing is, just even the base is something you can play with, right? So there are so many wonderful lettuces now available in the grocery store, much less, in specialty stores or at the farmer's market. We tend to be a family that loves arugula.
I love arugula.
And we actually, honestly, nobody knew what arugula was 15 years ago. Seriously, I mean, some gourmets, the gourmands,
but
whatever.
For us, in our family, when you say arugula, we think of a favorite house and neighborhood where we lived for 23 years. And
in Kansas City.
Mrs. Altamare, who was known in the neighborhood as Nonna, lived next door, and she had next to her kitchen door this wonderful raised bed that was full of arugula, and I had never heard of arugula before that. And she said, "Oh, it's fabulous in salads. Come pick it any time," because it was really self-seeding, and she had it forever, and it was just this great bed of continuous.
So we really think of as introducing us to arugula, and it is a unique flavor. It's kind of peppery. It's kind of saucy, I think.
I mean, watercress kind of is spicy.
Yeah,
like
it's
that
kind of
too.
like
But
I mean,
but it's different.
Yeah, it's different. But
the old British
term
is
lemony tasting too.
Right, rocket, which I always think it sort of has that fiery.
That's a good point.
Taste.
So I got baby arugula, pre-washed, and doesn't mean you can't wash it. Probably sometimes it's a good idea. I'm not doing it today because I'm believing them, and it's one of those that stays well like this, and you can see the dates on it. I mean, it's so handy when you have a busy life to have this kind of lettuce.
Here, I'm gonna
put it
in the fridge
behind. Okay, so I really have fun with my niçoise in terms of all the things I put in it. And are you gonna thinly slice this? Do you mind if I put you over here just so I can build?
Yeah, perfect.
So
but I need the other.
So one of the key ingredients in the niçoise in my world is you have tuna fish. And if this is going to be your meal, then they're the smallest of the cans. It's 3 ounces. You can do 2 ounces of that or 3 ounces of it, depending on what you've had for the whole day. But
your age, your gender,
yeah, I know. This is our spiel when we go to conferences. By the way, is your protein, because protein really is one of those things that can be. It's all about who you are and personalized to you in terms of your preferences and these again, if you are a vegetarian, some vegetarians eat eggs. You can just do the egg and not the tuna fish. You can, instead of the tuna fish, you could do like garbanzo beans. I find them delicious. It's not a classic niçoise, but it's you've got to suit it to yourself. So anyway, I'm putting this in a couple of different places. You're doing really thin slices of the onion.
But I'm going to dice it, or?
No, I was going to have you do really thin slices and take it apart.
Okay,
right?
Well, maybe I have.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, and then I don't know if you guys love capers or not, but we love capers. And they're nasturtium?
Nasturtium buds.
Buds. And so, of course, we love flowers in our lives, and here's yet another way. And so what I do is I have probably about 2 teaspoons worth of it, which would be an individual serving of this. And I'm just putting it across the tuna fish because I find the tuna fish with the capers. And we have, our kids love this growing up. Cynthia loves capers. So
there's some connection between caper and capucine, the monks, and cappuccino. So a cappuccino, right, which has a brown robe and the white foam is because of the monks. But the caper also has to do with their hood. So a nasturtium flower is actually named for.
We're going to do that at the end. Okay, so another thing is we have green beans. I love the idea. And these are unadulterated. They're just sort of flash, they're blanched green beans.
Which is great. 3 minutes, what'd you do? 4?
No, I actually did 5. But of course, we
Colorado,
are sort of Colorado.
Yeah.
The altitude affects how long you cook things. Can you check and see? I saw some movement over there.
Mary, hi. Thank you for coming.
So we're putting the green beans on here, and Vanessa is quite a cook. So be kind, but please share. I have been at Thanksgiving dinners with that gal, and boy, is she one heck of a...
Vanessa, but that's okay.
Oh, what was it? Vanessa Busey? Was it?
No.
I thought it was Cuellar.
No.
Okay, so here I think I told you guys a time or two before about how to cook hard-boiled eggs, but that's kind of one of our new tricks in terms of how to peel them and make them so easy to do.
And you have to repeat because it is so good. I love it. What do you do?
So what you do is you take out your eggs and you flip them upside down.
So the carton of eggs, you turn it upside down. And what does that do?
And I don't really understand what it does. You think it's because of the yolk?
I think it actually pulls the membrane that had a little sort of air pocket at the top. When you flip it over, it pulls the membrane away from the shell, and so it makes it incredibly easier to peel later. So
anyway,
while the water's coming to a boil.
So you put the water on, you get it to a boil. So while that's happening is when your eggs are flipped. You flip them back over, you take them out, and you put them in the boiling water, and 12 minutes, that's it. You cook the eggs. And I have literally, I don't know about you guys, but all of us have sort of searched for the right way to cook a boiled egg. I've done the salt in it, I've put them under cold water, I put them in before you boil it to bring them to the boil together. I have done everything anybody has ever recommended and never been able to do it. So this actually works.
Yeah.
And so they're easy to peel. And so that's why for us, where I have them kind of ready in the refrigerator, this is where they are housed.
And they're perfectly done. They never have the sort of green, halo around from being overdone.
Right, so they're really yummy. So I just cut one up. So 1 egg cut up in quarters. I now have about a 1/4 cup of grape tomatoes. You can do, whole tomatoes. You can probably start seeing a theme here where I like things that are littler because I feel like I can take a bite of a variety of flavors and enjoy all those flavors together. So
and all these things are also things that you have that make great snacks. Mm-hmm. So they're all healthy snack food, but also then end up really being great.
And now, you have the leftover potato, and so then that's something you can slice up. Are you going to slice it up pretty? Because I was just going to do...
You're fine. I was just getting the egg on.
Yeah, I didn't want to taint it. Yeah. So we're just, you can also quarter it if that's the way you like it. I personally kind of like it this way, and it kind of looks pretty. And you can do, this is kind of a big potato, so I might not put all of it on this particular plate, but typically 1 red potato is what you would use to put on here. So, so I'm tucking these things and having fun, putting things around the plate to make it look pretty.
Presentation is key.
That's the whole thing. And then normally you have niçoise olives, but again, what did I have in the refrigerator? Was it niçoise?
Well, they're Greek niçoise.
They're Kalamata. So again, I take license. I always take license, but it's because it's what's handy. If you want to be a purist and get all the perfect ingredients for your niçoise and savor that and enjoy that,
Thanks, Gary.
So fun. But it's pretty easy just to use what's in your refrigerator. And I think I cut up 6 olives. So again, it's not a lot, but it's so fun with all the different flavors that we have here. So
and that's a great way to add sort of a salty, piquant, wonderful.
Let's make sure, because I get talking. Oh, here we go. So we have capers and green beans and hard-boiled egg and new potato and tomatoes and tuna and Kalamata olives. I need 1 of these, by the way. Yep. And we could put it whole, but I like chopping it in like 4s or something. We'll just put it in the middle, and that is, of course, one of the key things I think, which is an anchovy. You can actually mush it up and put it in your salad dressing and do it that way if you would enjoy it. That's pretty classic. Or some people don't like anchovies, so what we do is we use just a single, but it's not a whole anchovy. This is a fillet of it, a fillet, and just cut it in a few pieces so that you can enjoy. Just enjoy putting it across it. So we have that. I said the tuna, the Kalamata olives, the arugula, of course, is the base. And then I have a little bit of parsley that's fresh, because sometimes fresh from the garden. Parsley is a yummy thing, and I got some, this is flat leaf parsley.
Which may be more flavorful.
And then the red onion. So again, if you don't like red onion, some people don't like raw onion in things, don't put it in. Or if you're doing vegetarian, put it in because it adds more flavor and body to your salad. So we're gonna put some prettiness here of the red onion, and then we're gonna top this off with some pretty parsley, because personally parsley is so good for us. It has lots of good things in it, and that is it. And so it really wasn't hard, and all these things were pretty much already available in the refrigerator, and so that made it easy to put together all the ingredients into a salad. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to remember from years ago at a dinner with my family, and a friend of my sister's telling me that the great thing about parsley, as he ate a bunch of parsley off of his dinner plate, was it's a great breath freshener.
Yes,
too.
It is.
So
And so now we need to do the dressing. And this is my classic dressing. And one of the things that I love, sometimes I like a heartier, more robust dressing. This has a lot more olive oil in it too.
For this.
But it does have water in it too, again. Yes, because I think for a niçoise, it has the mustard, that Dijon mustard. When I'm doing a vinaigrette, I can't resist. Yeah. They may have different amounts of mustard, but I love a Dijon mustard. So for my classic, I wanted to just say it the right way. And again, this is on the website, so you can download the favorite vinaigrette. But I've got apple cider vinegar, and so that's kind of one of those things I do that may not be as usual as that other people do, but I love the
And you
flavor.
can change it up. You can use other vinegars.
Totally.
But that does make a
very
flavorful, consistent.
And then I do 3 tablespoons of water. This has 9 tablespoons of olive oil, but again, we're using this. I get into the refrigerator and we use it for multiple times.
Yeah.
So and again, since this is a 1 serving, I'm only going to use our 2 tablespoon live spoon, the 1/8 cup, to put on it. And I'm shaking it up because again, that I always put a little fresh pepper and you can put some fresh sea salt or kosher salt, depending on. I'm a big advocate of kosher salt when I'm cooking because it really does the flavors. But when it's a dressing, sea salt is really nice.
Yes.
And then I do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in that concoction. And then this one I did the basil. And again, if you have fresh basil, you can do that. This is this flash.
The freeze-dried.
Freeze-dried, and it's just delicious. So again, I put dill in one, because it's lighter, lemonier with the lemon, and then this basil with kind of the heartier one. Love it. So we're going to put the dressing on this, and then Walt's going to show you, and then we'll finish up with our easy salad. Sheila salad.
That looks good.
Doesn't this look good? Oh my God. And I do put the dressing over everything because it just makes everything so yummy and tasty. So, okay, so you ready to show off that salad?
This plate says celebrate.
Oh, and I need, after you do that, for you to toast these. No, that's okay.
So, I'm going to try and not drip this time and get in the light. There we go. So that's our salade niçoise. Isn't that beautiful? Good job, Sheila. It looks great.
I think it looks really pretty. And isn't it visually appealing, you guys? So it's fun because you have all these different kitchen things. You just keep doing that, don't you?
It's hard to hold a nail.
I know, but you do such a good job. But these are the idea is these are really easy to put together. Things that you have on hand, things that you may have had with a different meal, and now you're switching it up to make it more interesting for this meal. And again, we had cheese, the mozzarella, and one of the things that was fun when I was kind of, I try and do a little research and get a little up to date on some of the things, the ingredients in there, why they're healthy for us. But do you know what mozzarella was originally made from?
No.
Water buffalo milk.
Well, so
isn't that fascinating? From Italy. It's from Naples, Italy. That's where the mozzarella was originally created.
I do know that the best is always considered that, but I didn't realize
it isn't anymore. I mean, it's really cow's milk now. But isn't that fascinating that it originally came from Naples, Italy, and was water buffalo milk? So, and then with niçoise, you don't have any cheese whatsoever in it. It's pretty high in protein because you've got the egg and the tuna fish in it. But again, it's not red meat. None of these salads are like that. So we kind of have the vegetarian with cheese version. But again, you can pick a vegetarian cheese or substitute it with protein of some other kind, to make it work for you. So these salads are very flexible. They're one of the easiest things. So one of the things I wanted to mention is, again, I'm using a different lettuce this time. So we had kind of basil as a lettuce with the caprese. We had the arugula with the niçoise. And then this is baby red butter lettuce. Oh my God. I'm a red butter lettuce gal. But more and more, it's hard to find the actual whole lettuce.
Or red romaine.
Oh my God, I just love it. It's beautiful as a salad. Again, me, I want it tasty. I want it visually appealing. I want it as fresh as possible. So, anyway, so this.
Now, why am I toasting the nuts?
Why? Because they are so good. Aren't toasted nuts so good?
Because it brings out the flavor. I think it also sort of in line. The nuts can get slightly stale, and I think by eating them, it really.
I did just buy these, so.
No, I know, but it does make them. Yeah. It freshens them.
It really does, and I think one of the things to talk about is the fact that nuts are so good for us. So again, you could leave out the cheese if you needed to, and just have the nuts as it's it is pretty high in protein. I mean, nuts are so good for us. Having some nuts every day, but again, they're very high in calories. So just like sort of the things that have fat in them, like the olive oil. We've discovered, right, that fat is good for us in foods. But it's in moderation because of the calories associated a lot with those. So it's a healthy fat. But again, having 2 teaspoons of nuts, which is what I did with the almonds, is really plenty enough. And one of the things I wanted to mention too was that nuts are really good for a lot of things that we may struggle with in this day and age, like diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Because of what they're made of and the ingredients. And, they're also high in antioxidants. I mean, actually all these salads are. And that's one of the things, with free radicals and, the diseases we get, it's a lot of it, we need those antioxidants to fight off those diseases. So this is a really healthy source for us to continue to live the healthy life we want to. So one of the things we love in our family are mandarin oranges, and there are times of year, like right now, that we can get actual mandarin oranges, or we can get them in a can. And this is great for holiday times, where I will make a yummy with.
And you can always have them in the
yeah, and it's always available in the pantry. So I'm going to peel these real quick, and so I'm going to do 2 mandarin oranges in with the beautiful red butter lettuce and. Wish I could finish watching. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to get off. I totally understand that with busy lives, it's so nice that people join us for whatever period of time they can while we're showing some of these healthy recipes and serving them up on Livliga. And today we're actually using our serving bowl, so that goes really handily with our live spoons. This is great for cooking and for serving up meals, and it goes so well with all of our dishware. What?
Did you want them both done?
I did, thank you very much. So I'm just taking them apart and putting them in here. And then we also, artichokes are so good for us, and they're very high in fiber. And I read that actually a single whole artichoke actually has more fiber in it than a whole cup of prunes. Now, would you pick the prunes or would you pick the artichoke? I'm just asking. We love them both in our family. There's not much we don't like. Actually, there's one thing I found in my life I don't like, and that's sea slugs, just saying. So I'm putting probably, tonight, about a 1/4 cup of artichoke hearts.
Quartered artichoke.
Quartered, and about a 1/4 cup of quartered.
Yeah.
And 2 of these guys. This is probably going to be enough for 2 people rather than 1. But and then one of the things is which cheese. So I do a goat cheese, and goat cheese is wonderful because the fat is different than in cow's milk. So a lot of people who have kind of hard time digesting cow's milk, goat milk is really and goat cheese are really good for you. They're also lower in salt, I learned, which I thought was interesting.
Maybe more flavored, so less salt's needed or something?
Well, I just think inherently, maybe, the way it's produced. Except for feta, of course. When you talk about feta, there is salt in the feta. And this, I am using a feta tonight instead of just a classic goat cheese. And it's because the other day we did have it on the menu, and so you classically buy it in a block, and I don't buy it already crumbled up because they have to put stuff on it to keep it separated. Yeah. And so, thanks to my sister who married a Bulgarian, I discovered Bulgarian feta, which is so truly the most delicious. It's creamy, it's tasty,
it's really
it's just so yummy. And so this is a Bulgarian feta. And so I'm going to do about a tablespoon of it. Again, this is something where you can be very precise with it and be very mindful. I'm just going to do kind of a nice, not too big slice. And then, of course, you have to crumble it up. And it's just seriously good. So you're going to see me putting a finger in my mouth because it is so good. And any excuse, right? Oh my God. So, I put a little bit of that, about a tablespoon. This is for an individual serving. And then we top it off. Oh, sorry. Here I am. So good. So we're going to top it with the nuts.
Right there.
I have to have a place. And then we're going to use, which dressing should we use? Do you want me to use the light vinaigrette or the sort of more robust vinaigrette to put
there's
on
a groundswell for the robust.
Is there a groundswell for the robust? Okay, even one boat will help us, guys. Help me out here. Which salad dressing? Light with the dill, the basil with more olive oil and...
Actually, I'm going light.
Light?
Yep.
Are we going light?
Yep.
Okay, light it is, guys. So this
is...
is...
2 tablespoons, I bet.
Oh, look at that! So handy. Well, it really, truly is handy. Yep. And I should have started by asking people if they actually know what a serving size is of salad dressing, because honest to God, no one knows.
I do.
You do, but your wife has, put this in your brain so you can remember this in your sleep. So we're going to put this in, and 2 tablespoons. Actually, when you do 2 tablespoons, you realize it's actually a lot. Right. This isn't really keeping you from anything. It may keep you from over saucing and wrecking the flavor of your salad. But so then we're gonna toss it. That's it. I mean, we made 3 salads, and it's super easy,
all
super
very
tasty,
different and all really beautiful.
And then people sort of say, well, what do you finish it off with? And there are kind of 3 ideas I have for you on this.
You mean like a crisp white wine?
Oh, yeah, well, there is that. Yes, or rosé this time of year. I could say that there is an open bottle of rosé in the icebox right now. But one of the things to make it a meal, so wonderful fresh, Italian bread or French bread, and a slice of that is yummy. And for instance, at the farmer's market, we were able to get some wonderful bread. If that's not handy, one of the things that we love doing is we'll get a loaf of bread, and you can't eat a loaf of bread. I mean, there are 3 of us that eat together regularly. So we have often day-old bread, and one of the things you can do is do slices of that, rub garlic on it. Well, actually, do you spray it first?
I do a little bit of olive oil in the pan, ever so slightly on the bread, and toast it. But then I learned you take a clove of garlic and thinly slice one end off, and use that to do 1 or 2 sides of bread. Slice it again so you have a fresh cut, and it's just rubbing the cut garlic on the bread.
But do you put the oil on before you rub the garlic?
Yes, right. And have it slightly toasted, and that makes the
so you can use like a brush and very,
that's what I do.
very delicately, so you're not actually adding a whole lot of oil.
Right.
That's not the point of that. And then you just grill it on both sides. So if you have day-old French bread, that's yummy, fabulous with the caprese or with the niçoise or even this. But I also, of course, as you will see as we get closer to the holidays, and we have another one of these healthy recipes served up on Livliga times, I am a firm believer in muffins. And so these are muffins I actually got out of the freezer, because again, you do 12 of them, you eat, 3 or 4 at a meal, and you got all those left over, and so then I wrap them up and I freeze them so I can get them out. And again, painless meal. You've already done it, and yet it's homemade. You know exactly what's in it.
And they're done really, again, by portion, by serving size.
I love single serving things like cookies and muffins, because then I'm able to portion it out and still have some yummy things and enjoy them. So these are apple cinnamon muffins, and so I got them out. These are the last 3. I'm going to have to bake again. So we're going to have those tonight with our dinner and sharing these wonderful salads. So
it looks great.
So do we have any questions or anything that we need to address before we kind of finalize things? I'm just making sure I've thought of everything we need to think of.
When are we next going to be
Yes,
here?
absolutely. That's kind of as we...
4th Tuesday.
Yeah, we're always the 4th Tuesday, and you're kind of getting out of screen. Sorry, that was probably because of me. But our next one, so we love sharing this with you. We hope this inspires you to have more salads in your life, to particularly take advantage of this time of year. to kind of make salads your own and use the fresh produce you have and use up the things that you have brought from the market so that they don't go bad and you enjoy them in all these different ways.
Right.
Corn is another thing where I cook it and slice it off the cob and use it in salads. There's just it's the never-ending joy.
We'll have a great meal with corn on the cob, and then the next night we'll have something with fresh corn off the cob,
right,
where we cut it off and mix it into a salad.
So if you're having trouble being creative, just shoot us a message on Facebook, because you can tell me what's in your refrigerator, and I can tell you some fun salads.
That's it.
You don't even have to have lettuce, honestly, to make a good salad. So
right,
I mean, you can have it with quinoa. You can have a
grain
salad. I mean, they're just. In fact, if you're looking for some grain salads, we have those on the website as well, with some really good,
really good multi-grain. I mean, they're wonderful.
They're so good. And these are kid-friendly too. I will say, kids love caprese salad. Kids love flavors. They don't like maybe challenging flavors, but they love lots of fresh flavors. I mean, kids love watermelon that you can put in a salad. I mean, there are just so many ways to get them engaged in helping you make salads and enjoy them. And of course, the best thing for all of us is doing it together. We're the best role models in the world for a healthy lifestyle for our kids, our family, our neighbors. We actually, I don't have them here right now. We made a zoodles dinner last night, a fabulous dinner with zucchini. This time of year, anybody who's growing anything, you're trading across the fence because everybody's overwhelmed with the bounty of what they've got. So
do you like zucchini?
Sure.
Let me give you the zucchini.
We actually ended up with Walter spiralizing, a zucchini that was this big last night. It was pretty fun.
Great. It was
so good. So anyway, we hope you've enjoyed our different easy summer salads, and that it's gotten you thinking about ways you can be creative, and hopefully with the salad dressings too, that we've encouraged you maybe to make your own, because they do last in the refrigerator for a long time. And if you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them. And next month, as Walt was saying, are there questions?
No, but Laura's one. Thank you, Laura. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
So next month, it'll be the fourth Tuesday, the September 25th. We're always at 5:30 Mountain Time. And we're focusing, September is National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month.
Right.
And every September, we devote the entire month to kids, to talking about how to help kids live healthier lives, because unfortunately the obesity epidemic has really affected our kids, the quality of their lives and their health. And when I was the executive director of the American Heart Association, I became acutely aware of that and shared that with just about everybody I knew.
Well, that's really why we're doing what we're doing now.
It's why Livliga was created. I was so profoundly affected by how we are harming our kids and we don't even realize it. So we devote September to that. This year we're launching our Spanish version of our children's book, which I don't know if you guys realize we have a children's line, and we have a children's book that actually won a national award, the Moving Children's Book Award.
For health issues.
So we're very proud of that. And we've just translated it into Spanish, and we're going to give the Spanish ebook version away the entire month of September. So we'll make sure you guys know that information, because anyone you know who might enjoy that, this is, we would love to share that with them, and with compliments from us. And our dishware for children will also be for sale the whole month. And we're focusing all of our blogs and emails on kiddos and kiddos issues. I tell the story of Sammy and Sax, who are the kids in the book,
right, and
kind of how I created that. That's one of the blogs coming up. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to focus on healthy recipes served up on the Livliga for kids and kid-friendly recipes. So we're going to particularly highlight one that's super fun to make with kids, which is putting, it's kind of an orange juice base, and we put fresh fruit in it and freeze it. It is so good. Kids love it. So we'll be doing that September 25th. Kids of all ages, yes. May I say.
That's it.
So,
and how do we know that September is coming up?
How do we know? You tell me.
Well, because this coming Friday is...
Oh!
It's the 31st of August, which means that the next day is September, and August 31st is Sheila's birthday. So happy birthday.
I have a birthday month, I have a birthday week, and I have a birthday day. So,
that's right.
I'm not...
We're down to the wire now.
Celebrating.
That's it.
Yes, so anyway, thank you for joining us. We loved having you be part of this. Our 6th Facebook Live, and we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you'll come back, and if you have any questions, please let us know, because that's why we're here, to help. So enjoy, and live vibrant, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you all for coming.
So take care and enjoy your Labor Day.
Bye-bye.